Okay then, I say hello and welcome back to another episode of TENSHI. Yeah, we found out in the last episode that Michelle is the commander and she was actually working on both sides. So now she wants to tell us something, we don't know what, but it has to be something very important. On your 18th birthday, a horrible accident befell your family, am I correct? Yeah, thanks so much for bringing that up again, Michelle. Seriously, that just happened. Why do you have to... Hush, Kenji. The reason I bring it up is because a very important choice is going to be made very soon. And it's going to be up to you to see whether or not it is realized. Why me? Because with you there is a real risk behind it. If we want the results we seek, we have to put everything we can into this one single incident. Just get on with it. What do you want from me? I'm sorry, Kenji, but I'm going to have to ask you to burn down your family's house. Michelle? Have Q and Rose made it back safely yet? Michelle, where are you? Michelle, are you in here? Where could she be? Am I the only one in the lab right now? Michelle, Rose, Q, is anyone around? I have a bad feeling about this. You want me to what? The plan that we're setting up is a dangerous one, but it's very workable. I'll explain it in greater detail once we get back to that time period, but for now. No, Michelle. What you're talking about? Michelle's blasé attitude towards her previous statement was making my skin crawl. Did she actually just suggest that we go back and burn down my parents' house? My head was swimming and I felt faint. This couldn't be happening. It had to be a misunderstanding. But it was so blunt, it was hard to believe that it was anything but the truth. Now is not the time, Kenji. Oh, quite the contrary, Michelle. I think I'd like you to reiterate on the notion of burning my family's house down. Without thinking, I lunged over at her out of pure rage. All of these feelings I had been bottling up for the past week had burst out of me and were spilling over, and the aggression was about to meet with Michelle. But she was quicker than me. She took a cane and spun it, its form moving at a blinding pace to strike me right at the base of my spine. The action knocked the wind out of me, causing me to howl in pain and collapse to the floor. I know that the idea is callous and possibly heartless, but if Project Paradox goes the way I think it will, you won't have to worry for long. I don't want to be part of your games anymore, Michelle. Just let me and Q and Rose all go home to our time while you tinker around your time window. I'm afraid I can't do that, Kenji. The very idea of your house burning down at your hands is already a risky enough one not to make you go back. I know this seems confusing and it is a bit too much, but it's for the greater good, I promise. I still felt the rage inside me. It was like a lump in my chest that wanted to burn its way out of me. But Michelle had hit me in such a way that kept me from moving. I hadn't even registered the possibility that she may have temporarily paralyzed me with that blow. I could hear her sigh. Mizuki, take him to his quarters to rest and recover. Bunny, take Rose and Q to their own separate room together. Hey, the last thing I need is you two scheming with him. Now go, take care of them. I saw both, Mizuki and Bunny nod. Mizuki taking me by the torso and lifting me over her shoulder before swiftly walking over to a room within the hallway. She dropped me on my back, on the bed, and stood in the doorway looking at me. What? I understand how you must feel. Oh, do you now? So you know what it's like to be told to kill your own family? I said it with a biting sarcasm, but I could tell from her eyes that she was being serious. Let's just say I didn't have the best upbringing. She paused, then turned her back on me. But that's none of your concern. Rest, Kenji. Tomorrow will be a difficult day. With those words, she exited into the dark hallway, leaving me to collapse on my bed and stare at the ceiling. Relax? How could I possibly relax knowing what I had to do tomorrow as a part of this project? I brought my hands up to my face and rubbed my eyes. I was tired. I had barely slept since I had gotten here, and it wasn't changing, especially now. I sat upwards, looking around the dark room, then finally making up my mind. I quietly stood, making my way silently towards the doorway. I looked out, making sure no one was keeping tabs on me, and began to make my way down the hall. I needed answers that Michelle wasn't giving me. If I could just find them, maybe I wouldn't feel as uneasy. I made my way into the room adjacent to mine, thinking that at least one of these rooms was used to hold paperwork. They had shown me the experimental lab, and it seems to be just a storage closet for various spare parts. No real shelves or bookcases within it. So the plans must have been in one of these other bedrooms. I went in quietly. Sneaking over to the bookcase, I rolled up a drawer on the bottom, leafing through. Nothing but clothing in this one. I dug around a bit, but I barely had time to look before I heard someone approaching. Crap! I looked around, trying to find a good place to hide until the coast was clear. The closet nearby seemed big enough to hold me, so I swung the door open and quickly snuck inside, shutting it behind me as swiftly but silently as I could. A figure appeared in the doorway, nimbly walking towards the bookcase. They lit a candle, allowing the room to fill with light and showing me who it was. Mizuki. I was holding my breath, sweating and fearful, hoping she was just passing through this room. But as she began to undress, I realized I was not going to be that lucky. She made swift work of taking off her dress, only being in her underwear as she stepped towards the closet I was in. My heart was pounding faster and faster. The closet she got until... Kenji! Mizuki, fancy you are in here. Seeing as this is my room, it's not quite coincidence you make it out to be. You're kind of I'm aware of my state of undress, Kenji. I'm just choosing not to worry about it in front of you. Why is that? Well, I'm not supposed to mix business with pleasure for the most part. She backed away from the closet, gesturing towards the bed. Take a seat, let's talk about this. Okay. I took the seat she offered and watched as she picked out some clothes from her closet. I did my best to avoid staring at her, but such a task wasn't necessarily easy. And she wears the same dress as before. She eventually donned her usual casual clothing before sitting next to me. Even with such a cold disposition, I could tell she was trying to be comforting. What are you truly afraid of, Kenji? What? I mean, there are a few things, but are you referring to what I have to do tomorrow? Particularly that, yes. Well, I don't know. The thought of being my parents' murderer from a week ago isn't exactly settling in my stomach very well. What if I told you that the whole reason Michelle planned this was to alter that fate? What? Michelle is not as cruel as she is making herself out to be. She's trying to keep the details to herself in order not to sway your decision, to make it somewhat clear. If not a bit unfair, I feel a duty to tell you what your two options truly are. Options? You're telling me I have a choice to do this? Then why ask at all? It's simple. There are two possible ways for this to go, Kenji. You burn down your own home and life goes on as it already has. Or you just don't burn it down and risk many things. Time falling apart, a paradox ripping you to shreds in a metaphysical sense, or at the very least, all the people you have gotten to know within the past week disappearing from memory. What? Rose, Kiyu, Michelle, myself and Bunny, all of us will disappear in the blink of an eye to you. Of course, we still exist out there in your time, but then again, perhaps not. We are altering time, your life, and it will have a huge effect on all of us. If Michelle's own theories on time alteration are correct, well, something much better will happen. But she's aware of the risks, as am I. I suggest you take some opportunities, Kenji, and make some decisions while you can. You have one night left of this. Depending on your decision, make the most of it. Okay, thank you, Mizuki. Now that I think about it. I watched as she pulled her turtleneck top from her body, glancing at me seductively. I could take a bite just this once, if you'd like. Sure? Mizuki turned to me, her face getting closer to mine. Oh, it just occurred to me. Have you felt either of them yet? What do you mean? Don't play coy with me, Kenji. Have you gotten a chance to feel these on either of the girls yet? She suddenly set my hands on her breasts, and I nearly jumped through the roof. I didn't think so. Your self-control is beyond what I know of other men. Call me impressed. She pulled my hands away, and I set them at my side. I have to admit, there is something interesting about you, Kenji, so reluctant yet willing. You have to remember that even though girls like me like to be respected, we still like to have fun, just as much as guys do. So I suggest you have some fun while you can. She donned her casual clothing once again, standing from the bed. Thank you, Mizuki. You're welcome. I will let Bunny know that she can allow you into Rose and Q's quarters. Really? But Michelle doesn't have to know. Now that I think about it, I'll be able to send them both to your room without raising all that much suspicion from Michelle. But you'll all have to keep it down for the night, I'm afraid. So no funny business, Kenji. She winked again and I jumped slightly at what she was suggesting. I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit disappointed. But I didn't expect any sort of action on a night as tense as this one. But I had to discuss these things with the two of them before tomorrow happened. Rose and Q would definitely be able to help me think through the cloud of confusion I was under. Oh, okay, got it. Thank you again, Mizuki. Mizuki nodded, leading me back to my room before rushing away silently in a traditional stealth-like manner. After a few minutes, my door slightly cracked open, Bunny's face popping in. Alright, Romeo, enjoy the company. Don't get too handsy. They're still super huge right now. There was a slight smack sound from the other side of the door. Ouch. Hey, I was just teasing him, gosh. Anyways, Kenji, Mizuki will be outside this door and I'll be in front of where the girls are supposed to be, as to eliminate any suspicion from Michelle. So, yeah, enjoy your night together. I'll be back around here to pick them up before dawn. And with that, both Rose and Q stepped in, tentatively meek looks on both of their faces. Before I could say anything, Rose and Q rushed up and took me in an embrace. I could feel them shaking. Rose, Q, hey, have fun, you lovebirds. The door shut behind us as I lead them both into the room. Rose sat next to me on the bed while Q took a chair nearby. I insisted that I sit on that chair myself, but she smiled and waved me back, saying that she found chairs more comfy. We sat there in silence for a bit before I finally spoke up, wanting to get Mizuki's words off my mind. Rose nodded, as did Q, and they thought about it for a little bit. So we could just cease to exist for you? Would your memories be altered to forget about us? I don't know, I would hope not, but at the same time... Kenji, think about it. Your parents raised you. They knew you your whole life, literally. You've known us for weeks, seriously. I don't want to be harsh or anything, I mean, we both care about you a lot. And we really don't want things to go that way, but if it saves you from the emotional pain of not only losing your family, but killing them yourself, then please, by all means. That's not the only danger, you guys. I mean, think about it. I could totally ruin time or die or cease to exist or something like that. That's a lot more than just you two. Those words made both of them flinch, so I tried backpedaling a bit. I care about both of you a lot, whether it's been a week or a year. You've both been nothing but kind to me since we met. You've consoled me and treated me so well since I was dropped in your lap. And I really appreciate that I do. The emotions swelling within me were conflicting and painful. It felt as if no matter what with this decision I was about to make, I was going to lose someone. I could change the future or let the pain of the present continue forever. This was the opportunity Michelle was giving me. The fact that she knew I was the one who burned down my house seemed a bit suspicious to me, But if it was for the sake of whatever timeline she had in mind, I must have noticed myself shaking, because soon Rose's arm was wrapped around my shoulder and Q was looking at me worriedly. She stepped away from the chair and sat on the edge of the bed, wrapping her arm around my waist, head leaning on my shoulder, comforting me as well. Even when the moment comes, Kenji, we're here for you, okay? Always. Even through whatever time you end up in, we'll be here, I promise. That's a hard promise to make, Rose. I'll make sure she keeps it. I looked up at Q, a melancholic smile on her face. I nodded. Okay, thank you both, really. I'll do everything I can. You have one choice to make, Kanji, and we both support it no matter what. Q nodded, as did I. With that, there was a knock on the door. Dawn is almost here, guys. You guys need to head back to your room. Gosh, already? Time is just all over the place today. Ironic, isn't it? I wouldn't say ironic, just now is not the time for poorly made jokes. Get on over to your room, both of you now. Wait a second, I turned my head to face. Now we can make a choice. Rose, Q, my shoes. What are we going to choose? I turned my head to face. So my shoes is definitely no option. Rose, she loves us. We kind of like Rose. Q, we kissed her. She likes us too. I think we go with Rose. Right. Okay, Mizuki. Kenji? Rose turned to me, watching as Q left the room. Somehow, I could sense that she knew Rose wanted a moment with me. Rose turned facing me, her head slightly tilted down. She was blushing. About what happened before, back in the lab, and well, she smiled, lifting my chin with her hand. I smiled, understanding what she meant. It's okay, Rose. I don't need it spelled out for me. I think I got it figured out. With that, she leaned into me, lifting my chin further as we locked lips. I felt my body gasp, but I returned her embrace. We sat there for a bit, which felt like forever for a second, until she pulled away, Mizuki right behind her. What did I tell you? Oh, come on. We didn't do any... Hush. Rose, get back to your quarters now, please. With a furious blush on her face, Rose turned to me and smiled, her hand lingering on my leg before slipping away as she stepped out of the room. Mizuki watched her step out, then turned to me, smirking. She's your favorite then? I mean, hey, say no more. Choosing between those two girls is like choosing between two brands of fine wine. Really, you can't go wrong. You're just lucky enough to get some. Am I correct on that? Yeah, I guess that one way of putting it simply. Complex romantic situation were never my fault. Congrats regardless. Now then, get some rest. Tomorrow is already here, but it hasn't completely risen yet. Right, thank you, Mizuki. Of course. With that, she blew out the candle and stepped out of the room. I laid in the bed, thoughts still burning in my head, but somehow I still fell into a restless sleep. And what the sleep brings, you will find out in the next episode, which will be released tomorrow. So if you don't want to miss it, subscribe to my channel. And if you liked this episode, leave a thumbs up, leave a commentary. And then I'll see you tomorrow. Stay tuned by your pacemaker.